Kia ora and welcome to Waimātamo International Healing and Education, a place of clarity. I'd like to welcome you to this space today. I am Manu. I'd like to talk with you today about the way that we think, because the way that we think influences the way that we speak, and the way that we speak influences the way that we feel. The way that we feel influences the way that we behave. How many of us have had some regrets about the way that we have behaved lately? How many of us have lost our tempers and shouted unnecessarily at the children because we were too lazy to think of another way? How many of us use the default setting rather than design the way that we think? It is so easy, because when you design the way that you think, you then start designing the way that you clothe those thoughts. You design the words, you look for the words, and you clothe those thoughts with those words. And with those words that have been specifically chosen, you then speak them. You speak them with absolute confidence and knowledge that you have chosen these because they are going to give the utmost respect to the person who will hear them. And when you catch these words, you're not going to let them drop to the floor. You don't let them drop to the floor because then it means nothing. But because you have taken the time to choose these words carefully, to clothe the thoughts that you have chosen carefully, that you don't want them to be wasted. And when somebody doesn't understand them the first time, you paraphrase them and you reorganize them so they might be understood more clearly. And when you do that, you start to feel what those words are. You've thought about what it is. You've chosen the words and designed the way you're going to speak them. And now you feel them. You feel those words and you become so much more buoyant. And when you become more buoyant, you start becoming those words. You start feeling those words. You have embodied those words. The feeling of those words start coming out in your actions. And your actions denote the design of those very thoughts. And so therefore you start, or you commence, to live by design rather than defaulting to social consciousness setting, where anything goes, where it doesn't matter who you hurt, where it actually doesn't matter if you engage your brain before you open your mouth. Please take the time to design your thoughts. Choose the clothing, the words that you will clothe those thoughts in. Then speak those thoughts with the utterance of love. And as you catch those words that have been especially clothed, and you design that conversation to lift and build another, you start feeling what that does to you. And when you feel that, you start to embody what that is. You start becoming that word. And then people just want to continually be around you because you are delivering a life, living a life that is designed, not living a life that is default. Everybody, think about the things that you say. Look for the words to clothe those thoughts. Let them be lofty. Let the words lift and build. Let the feeling engage with those words that are loving and healing. Live by design and not by default. This is Manu. It's been a pleasure and indeed an honour to speak with you today.